Well, it's finally time to begin some designing. What I thought we might start with is put the fluid sort of garden bed edging in, the flexible garden bed edging in. Now I'll introduce you to the layer tool. So let's pick layers, and what we'll do is to create a new layer. Let's hit this little button through here, and there are several layers already in the drawing, but double click on, in my case, layer 3, and we'll just call this edging. What I'm then going to do, and I'll hit the enter key to burn that term in, what I'm then going to do is to set the colour of anything that we put on that layer to red, or reddish orange colour. And we'll make it current. That's the green tick there. You could click up here. So now, if you have a look over in the properties box on the left, and this is why it's so important to keep that box up, you can now see that whatever we put will be drawn by layer, and since we've set the colour of the layer to red, whatever we put on that layer should show. So I'll just, we're going to draw this edging with what's called a polyline. So it's draw, polyline, and just put a series of control points in. Now, I've got polar on. That'll force things into either horizontal or vertical, so I want to take that off. So what I'm going to do is just click in and around and work my way and give myself a rough shape of the sort of shape that I'm after, then right click to enter. That finishes it. And I'll now zoom in on the shape. What I then do is select it, and you have a series of different curve fitting options. So under fit smooth here, I'll choose quadratic B-spline. You don't have to worry about the terminology. It just means make it a smooth curve. And that did a reasonable job, but I think I might like to change this one a little, so I'll just tweak it by moving that edge around. Now, if you wanted to, you could hit any one of those control points and add an extra one. So I'll hit this one here and right click, and sorry, it's not that, that's moving that one. Got to be a little bit careful. If I right click over the top, I can insert a new vertex. Can you see that puts another control point in, so I get even finer control and I can move it up or move it down. So can you see you've got very good control over the flexible line that we've put in there. And if you notice over here, there's another flexible line, so we could right click to repeat the polyline command, and we could start it around here, just come through there and around and like so, and right click to enter to finish it. Select it again. Just for fun, I'll use a different sort of curve fitting. I'll take a cubic B-spline, and that gives you a slightly different shape. And we could maybe now zoom in on one end, and I can pick that end point there, and you see I've got it, I'm dragging it now, and I could drag it to the intersection of those two lines. So now that curving line meets precisely there. With this one here, what I want to do is to move that one, and I might want to move it perpendicular to that line and I could use the perpendicular option, click it, and then perpendicular and come in there. So that line comes perpendicular in. So we've got a reasonably nice shape for what will be a lawn area. So that's your next little piece of work. If I click the layer tool again and make layer 0 the current layer, I could come down to our edging layer. Now I've lost it, it goes into alphabetical order. We called it edging. There was already one called L edging, which I could have used, but it's red, so I can click on the little light bulb, and if we get lucky, it'll disappear. To bring it back, it's just a matter of clicking on the light bulb. You might notice down here that the drafter who constructed the original drawing is using a whole series of layers called L dash, and the American Institute of Architects suggests that for all landscape work, your layer naming convention should be organized in that way. So L dash lighting, L dash mulch, L dash PLNT symbol indicates entities put into an electronic or digital design that has been done by a landscaper. Might also notice over here that the edging is, the layer edging, not that edge layer that we did, is set with a 0.4mm line thickness. So if I turn on line weights, you will notice over here that the line appears thicker relative to some of those white lines. But I digress. It's time for you to put in those flexible garden bed edging. You might notice up here that this designer has extended those edgings over across the driveway.